Welcome to the Love on the Go podcast, brought to you by Carolina's Matchmaker. I'm Laurie Burzak, and for over 17 years, I've been helping singles find the relationship of their dreams all over the Carolinas. Along the journey, I've met so many amazing professionals and experts from various fields, and I'm excited to introduce them to you. What's my goal? I want to help you look at love and relationships in a new way and to grow in your understanding of how love works. Let's learn together how people have overcome personal obstacles and have found love, first and foremost with themselves. The ultimate goal is realizing that you are worthy and deserving of love. Let's get started. Ella Scaduto, my friend and amazing matchmaker, who actually is the owner of Smoky Matchmaker, which is based out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Welcome.
Thank you. Hey, Laurie.
Hello. So Ella is a professional certified matchmaker and certified science-based relationship coach, and she has a background in psychology and research and is fascinated by human behavior and interaction, which, I mean, aren't we all who are in this industry? I love that. I'm excited to have you on the podcast today, and I am looking forward to really getting deep in human behavior. I want to talk about the speed dating that you're doing in Tennessee. I want to talk about the finding women in the wild that you do with men, which would be very fun and interesting to talk about, how to approach people. So all of you men out there that are listening to this, this is going to be fascinating for you. And then I want to talk to you about the article that you wrote for your Tango magazine that talks about the triangle technique and eye contact and flirting. All right, Ella, tell us, okay, how long have you been in Knoxville? How are you finding matchmaking there?
So we moved here. Now I can count by winters.
Okay.
I actually get a lot of kick out of going by winters. So like almost 3 years now. It's awesome. Love it. I did take a little break when we first moved because we were trying to settle in and all that, and I didn't do anything or anything. But now I'm back in full swing, and it's good. It's great, actually. There's a lot of people that need that, and there isn't anybody but me for miles and miles and miles and miles.
Yeah, you've got really a handle on the market there in Knoxville, and also you work in Nashville, correct?
A little bit. I dabble because I do a little bit of events there, so but it's really far. But I do events, so if anybody comes around from there, it's totally fine. I have a database as well.
Okay, great. And when you say events, what kind of events are you doing?
So I do singles mixers up in and some here, and I do speed dating here. In Knoxville I do them. It's fun.
Okay, great. Yeah, speed dating, that's something that I definitely need to get into. You're inspiring me to do that. It's fun. People always want a curated activity where you are purposeful and have an opportunity to talk to a lot of people. And sometimes when you have just a general mixer, people are a little shy about walking up to people. And so that really forces you to have a conversation. It can be a little stressful, probably. Do you hear that?
Yeah, I mean, just like doing anything is stressful. Showing up to a networking event, if you haven't done it a lot, is also stressful, and there's all strangers running around, and it could be nerve-wracking. But speed dating is fun because yes, it is stressful, but once you get over that, then you're exposed to, depending on how big the crowd is, between like 10 and 15 women at one time, right? In one evening. Match.com can't do that for you.
Right.
So this is like a curated event that you're for sure going to meet all these women. And now it's up to you, right? The ball is in your court, and you got to do your thing to get maybe one match or two. Most people get, I'd say like 85%, every single person will get a match. There might be like one person that doesn't get matched up, but most of the time there's a bunch of matches that get created.
I love that. All right. So here's a question, Ella, that I have for you. So you were recently published in Your Tango magazine, and you talked about the triangle technique
Mhm.
and strategic eye contact. And here's what you wrote. I love this. The triangle technique is a concept that revolves around strategic eye contact to make a lasting impression on others. It involves creating a triangular pattern by shifting your gaze between 3 points, the left eye, the right eye, and the lips of the person you're engaging with. By employing this technique, you can establish a deeper connection, convey confidence, and increase your overall attractiveness. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
us more about that. It sounds like a very, very strategic way of flirting.
Right. Well, I feel like flirting should all be strategic
Mhm,
in a way. Because you're trying to accomplish something, right? You're trying to be more attractive
mhm,
towards someone, right? And get their attention. So yeah, so the whole technique, it's actually like, I think we've been us as humans, we've been doing it for like ever and ever.
okay.
And now kids these days kind of think that they just invented it. And like, no, it's been around. So the idea is that you kind of go from one eye, like they start with the left, right? That
Mhm,
this is my left. Like you start with the left and then slowly go to the right and then down to an upper lip and then repeat the motion, right? But you got to do it with your eyes, not like the whole face, right? So you don't look like you lost something. Or and also like the speed of it is also everything, because you don't want to like be like shifting like back and forth with your eyes too fast, because now you just look weird.
Okay.
You got to do it a little, you have to practice, right? So I would say practice with your friends, tell them what you're doing,
Mhm,
practice on them, see how it makes them feel. Do they feel like you're accomplishing some kind of flirtation, or does it feel like you're just being creepy and weird? Because if you do it too slow, then it'll look creepy, right? If you go like, I stare, 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 then go down.
okay. And
But
and
it's it
by the way, for those of you that are watching on YouTube, Ella is literally making triangles in the air. So just in case you're missing that by listening to the podcast
oh,
only.
I'm sorry, I'm like mining, right? Nobody
You're gonna
can see it. I can
you're gonna
just
get
do
a
my own
lot
thing
out of
here.
the YouTube podcast is all I'm gonna say. Um,
Okay.
okay, so is this something that people do naturally and it's something that you can kind of look for to determine if somebody is flirting with you?
So I wouldn't say that's a natural thing to do. That's
Mhm.
a technique, right? Like it's a
Okay.
skill,
Okay.
part of the courtship and flirtation, right?
Right.
Because you want to play with people. No one starts dating and getting to know somebody just being like really serious, right? So you
Mhm.
flirt, you tease, you do banter. There's so much to it, right?
Mhm.
So like doing the triangle is not like a naturally occurrent thing. Like no one's
Mhm.
born with that skill. It's something you
Mhm.
learn. It's like opening the door for a woman, right?
Mhm.
Like somebody has to tell you to do that, right? Like hopefully your
Mhm.
parents teach you the trick, or you watch your
Mhm.
dad do it,
Mhm.
or your mom tells you, right? Or a coach. So it's like one of those skills that you learn, but then once you learn and figure out how to get it done and done well, then
Mhm.
it looks natural to
Mhm.
someone else. Now they're like, "Ooh, he's cute. Look at him doing this." Or the girl, women can do that too.
Mhm.
Aside everything else that women can do, I feel like women don't need a lot of things to flirt. We could just, sit there and look adorable. Open, not just adorable, but open to receive attention. Not,
Mhm.
I don't know if whoever can see, like, right, this is what we all do, right? We go to a bar and this is what you see. Someone sitting there staring at their phone. Obviously,
Mhm.
that does not make you look like you're open to receive attention from guys or girls, whatever you're looking for.
Exactly. And yes, people are on their phones way too much. It's a number one problem. They're even online dating when they are at bars instead of focusing on the people that are right around them. It makes absolutely no sense at all. I know it's very
Yeah,
perplexing.
that's,
So
yeah.
some of the way, okay, so that's a great technique. And then for women, I mean, I know so many ways that women can kind of manufacture um, flirting. I know like the collarbone area is like a really sensitive spot, and that, yeah, yeah, twirling your hair, but like the whole erogenous zone of your collarbone and neck area apparently is like really, when you touch that, you're basically showing the person that you're flirting with that you are interested in them. The only person that can touch this area is your lover, basically. Like, your friends aren't touching you here. Your colleagues certainly should not be touching your collarbone area or your neck area. So it's basically inviting the person that's looking at you to think, I wonder what it would feel like to graze upon her neck, or her collarbone. So it's a really sensual spot to touch.
Yeah.
And then you said something about the hair. Do you want to talk about the hair?
Yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned the collarbone. So the collarbone touching, that's
Mhm.
something you would do on purpose
Mhm.
as a female, as a woman, to show that you're interested in somebody and invite that somebody to come and flirt with you, right? Give them a
Mhm.
shot at it. Now,
Mhm.
there's things that we do, women and men, that we touch other body parts like our arm, and that's
Mhm.
subconscious. So
Mm.
that's when you actually like someone. You're not trying to get their attention, but you like them, and your body, like the rest of you psychologically, was like, oh, let's bring him over here. Let's chat. He's cute. Let's chat
Right.
with him. So then you start touching your arms and like on top, and then maybe the hair, like the hair, the twirl in the hair. I don't have any to show, but like touching your hair, that's also an invitation. And if not done on purpose, because sometimes
Mhm.
women will do that on purpose, be like, oh, look at me, I'm cute, come talk to me.
Mhm.
But if you like somebody and you do want their attention, but
Mhm.
not consciously, right, then you'll subconsciously just mess with your hair, which is,
Mhm.
I think it's awesome. It's, when you go out like to bars and whatever areas where young people hang out and kind of do their whole flirting dance, right, then you
Mhm.
can watch around who does what, and it's I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And you can tell by the way somebody's standing, if
Oh
their
yeah.
feet
Oh
are
yeah.
pointed towards the other person,
Hmm.
if their body is turned towards the other person.
Hmm.
So by talking about these techniques, it's not like we're trying to be manipulative, but there is something to be said for trying to create something and letting the other person know and seeing how they react.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
mhm.
I feel like it would be wrong to call it manipulative,
Mhm.
because it's an invitation. An
Mhm.
invitation is a natural thing, right? Like when we
Mhm.
have parties at the house, we make food and we invite people to come, right? Because we want to
Mhm.
hang out with them at the house. So when you're
Right.
out and about and you want to meet someone, and
Mhm.
maybe you don't want to, like as a woman, maybe you don't want to get up and walk up to a guy and be like,
Mhm.
hey,
Mhm.
my name's Ella, what's up?
Mhm.
But at the same time, you want to show them that, yes, please come talk to me. Like,
Mhm.
you're welcome to come. I'm not going to bite your head off, right, and tell you
Mhm.
to jump off a bridge. So
Mhm.
you do these things to let the guys know that they're welcome to come and say hello. And that's not, it's not like you're trying to do anything tricky. You're not
Mhm.
tricking them into anything. We're all adults. They don't have to get up and come. They can choose not
Exactly.
to.
Yeah.
You're
And by
just
the
giving them
way,
an invitation.
exactly. And by the way, I mean, this is not just for heterosexual relationships and flirting. This goes across the board, can be used in LGBTQIA relationships. It works all across. So the other thing like I've noticed is like the whole, dude like raising up his arms and showing his muscles and that kind of thing, where he's kind of like bragging about his muscles and kind of showing you what he's got to offer.
I mean, yeah, we're all animal kingdom at the end of the day. So whatever makes you, like when you see a lion run around, they all look big and boofy and poofy and all that.
Yeah.
Showing their size, right? The bigger they
Hmm.
are, the better mate and the protector
Hmm.
and whatever else, right? So it's the
Hmm.
same in our, for our species. Guys want to be taller, there's a reason why all women want taller guys, right? Because somehow in our lizard brain, it makes sense that a taller man will be, a better provider or a better protector.
Mhm.
Now in our society, we don't need a protector. We don't have guys run around and kill, wolves and tigers and whatever.
Right.
We've advanced, so we don't really need a taller man. That's what
Mhm.
us matchmakers, and that we keep trying to tell women. It's like, you don't really need him to be 6 foot tall, right? He's fine at
Mm.
5'9", whatever.
Right. Sometimes they
Um,
listen to us and sometimes they don't. Although I'll tell you, Ella, you'll be happy to hear this. One of my clients actually said to me she hired me for online dating. And she said,
mhm.
Laurie, you'll be proud of me. I'm actually corresponding with a guy who's 5'6", even though she originally said she wanted like 5'11" or taller. And she likes him more than a bunch of other people that she's gone out with.
Rock
So
and
I'm like,
roll.
good. I'm so excited for you. Like you are expanding your brain. It's awesome.
Awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I know.
Funny thing, I actually think that the guys that are on the shorter side of it, I feel like they do more work on themselves to
Mm,
be more presentable. So they work on their charisma, they're funny, they dance. A lot of
mm.
them can dance really well, right? So if the guy, I feel like, which makes sense, again, the whole animal kingdom. I feel
Mhm,
like if the guy is not really tall
mhm,
and like super handsome, whatever, then he works on all the other qualities to make himself more presentable and appealing to women, right? So they
mm,
dance, they're funny, they're charismatic, they're kind of life of the party. They're pretty awesome. So, you don't
mhm.
really need a height to, be a good father per se, right? You could
Mm.
be
Oh,
5'6", 5'6" and be a great dad. Or you could
yeah.
be a 6'5" and be a beat dad, a deadbeat dad, whatever that's called.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
for sure.
height is nothing.
It
I'm
is
I'm
nothing.
glad. I'm excited for a client. It's awesome. Good for her.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited for her too. So you do something that's interesting and something that a lot of matchmakers do not do and dating coaches. You actually meet men out and about in Knoxville. And you and what do you do in at bars on a Saturday night? What are you doing, Ella? Tell us about that.
Okay, hold on. Let me backpedal. I don't like meat man.
No, these are
I'm
yeah, let's back
happily
it up.
married.
These clients, yeah, yeah, yeah. She's happily married. I'm talking about your clients. You connect with your clients at bars.
Yes.
Tell
So
us about it.
I part of my coaching program that I do with guys, and it's mostly all young guys,
Hmm.
is that we do a Zoom call once a week, right?
Okay.
And then a following week we would go out in field exercise, right? What I would call in field exercise.
Yeah.
So we pretty much get together
Hmm.
and I pick out certain areas that I think would be great for whatever his age is.
Hmm.
Um, age appropriate, so we don't run in and it's a bingo night. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I pick out a bar, we go, we meet at a specific time, and
Uh-huh.
I prefer to meet outside first,
Okay.
and then we go over some things like, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to say, this is where we're going to look like we're hanging. I always try to, we'll find like a spot that we hang at, like our base, and then we
Okay.
chat. So it
Okay.
doesn't look like I do my absolute best to, when we're out, to make sure that we look like we're friends, right? So
Okay.
if other women see him, they don't assume that he's with me or I'm with him or whatever, right? So
Okay.
there's distance, there's all this, and my face is a little bit more serious. Like we're buddies, right?
Okay.
So I'm out with a buddy and he's out with me, and then I'm like, that girl's cute. Go say hello, right?
Mm.
Here's what you gotta say, right?
Okay.
Put your shoulders up, puff your chest out, make yourself look bigger and taller. Smile. Like I have to tell guys constantly
Mm.
that they have to smile. Making them smile and happy looking makes them a more approachable and b secure, right? Because
Mm.
for us women, we're smaller creatures to begin with, and we always have our guards up when guys are out and about because they're bigger and stronger and we're kind of a prey. So
Interesting.
if a man smiles, now he's no longer looking like a threat, right?
Mm.
you have to not, you cannot be out and about as a guy, especially if you're a bigger guy, and walk
Mm.
around with like a mean mug, right? Because then you look like a threat to women, and then their guard's gonna go up. And now they're just, if you approach them, they'll be like, when is he leaving? How long is this gonna take? You know? So
Huh.
smile, be happy, open, you know, arms out, not like walk around like you're gonna box somebody.
Mhm.
um yeah, there's a lot of body things gotta go into it, right?
Mhm.
Because the whole first impression on anybody takes about 3 to 4 seconds, maybe 5 if they're slow. And you gotta,
Mhm.
all of it is body and what you look like. And then after the fact, you start talking and they'll pay attention, hopefully.
Okay,
And then
so two
that's what I do.
things. I love it.
Uh-huh.
Two things. Number one, when you say smile, how big a smile are we talking about?
So you don't want to look um like you're in the movie from that Shining, like not too much, right? You're not trying to freak anybody out, look creepy
Mhm.
or weird, but
Mhm.
natural. So,
Mhm.
and a lot of guys, you know, like I work with a lot of guys who are in tech, so
Mhm.
they don't, and I'm not saying anything wrong with tech guys,
Mhm.
but the problem is that most of them work from home or they're somewhere in the cubicle, they're alone,
Mm.
right? So they're
Mm.
not exposed to other people, so they don't practice, they don't do their chatting, they don't practice what their face looks like while they're
Mhm.
chatting.
Mhm.
That's why a lot of them kind of need a little bit of help from like a coach, a dating coach.
Okay.
So I tell guys, you know, and you know, I tell them like smile, and they're like, well, I feel stupid smiling, like what am I
Mm.
smiling about? I'm like, okay, cool, let's make it easy. Think of something that makes you happy. Think of
Mm.
something that brings happiness and joy to you, and
Mhm.
that will naturally put a smile on your whole face, right? You don't have to walk around with like a whole green on, right? Like from a
Yes.
Joker movie.
Yes.
But happy thoughts will bring happy, like something that has to be like some kind of memory or a thought, something that will literally change your face. And now
Mhm.
you're look, you know, you're like, oh cool, you know, I remember that awesome, you know, fishing trip was my buddy, yay.
Mhm.
And then your whole face is smiling, right? So now you look
Mhm.
open, you're not threatening, and you
Okay.
can walk around and, you know, approach women and you know, do your best. Of course you got to dress nice, there's, you know, a lot to it.
Well, okay. So before we get to the dressing, which I want to talk about,
Mhm.
what are some good sort of like opening lines that you suggest to your male clients to approach? What does that look like? Because I know that can be a little nerve-wracking for people.
It's always nerve-wracking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, it's like going on, you know, networking events. That's
Mm-hmm.
nerve-wracking too. Like
Yeah,
sometimes I even get nervous, you know, I show up
sure.
and there's like 100 people. It's like, oh. So you can go like, there's a couple methods you can go. You can go direct and
Mm-hmm.
observational, right? Observational is something you observe that's happening in your area
Mm-hmm.
or within the vicinity of the girl you want to approach as a guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're in a bar and there's live music,
Uh-huh.
right? So you take that knowledge and this information and approach the girl and say anything in the lines of like, hey, do you know what band it is? Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I love them. This is my first time. Again,
Mm-hmm.
smile, 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 and chat. And she'll, you know, most women, like I want to say this to guys, most women are nice. They will chat with you. Don't be scared. None of us are out to get you. We're
Right.
not taking heads off.
Right.
You know, grab your cojones and go for it.
Uh-huh.
Um, so that's an observational, right? Like that's an awesome band. And if she responds, whatever she says, we're like, oh my God, have you heard them before? Do you come here a lot? I really like this place, blah, 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 blah. Right? Get into like a little conversation and
Mm-hmm.
then eventually not too long, right? This
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about seconds. This all
Mm-hmm.
takes, you know,
Mm-hmm.
20, 30 seconds. And
Mm-hmm.
then you go like, you know, my name is John, like what's your name, you know,
Mm.
blah blah blah. But always offer your name first and reach out with your hand, right? Like if anybody can see me, like pull your hand out and reach out to say hello. Like my name is John. When you pull your hand out, A, you're
Mm-hmm.
inviting them, B, you're not a threat, and C,
Mm.
you're offering something.
Okay.
Now I dare you, get out there and approach a random person, pull your hand out and say, hi, my name is Laurie. I dare you to see if they'll be like, oh, I'm not gonna touch it. In
Mm,
their mind, they'll be like, oh, yeah, my name is, Ella, whatever.
okay.
People will automatically, subconscious, they don't even think about it, they'll pull out their hand.
Okay.
And boom, now you got a name, right? And then you build
Mm,
on that. Then you just ask, like, where are you from? But then be like, but then you gotta go.
let's hear it.
Then you can jump into teasing mode, right? Be
Okay.
playful. As a guy, you're always competing with all the other guys, right?
Okay.
Especially if you're talking to a pretty girl. Pretty girls get approached constantly. There's a lot of attention that they get. So you have to stand out. You got to be funny, charming, whatever, practice, right? All of those things. So then
Yes.
start teasing and be like, where are you from? But then, like, hold on, let me guess. You're like judging by your look. You're like from, Tennessee. I love the hair, right? Or whatever. And then just mess around. It doesn't have to be true. It could definitely be completely ridiculous. Be like, you know, like, what do you do for a living? Well, hold on. You look super cute. You got to be maybe some kind of sciencey girl, right? You're some kind of like biomechanical engineer or something. Just be ridiculous and funny, make her laugh,
Love
right?
it.
The very important thing about everything that you're doing, from the moment you see her to the moment you got to go say your goodbyes, because
Hmm.
you don't want to be there for half an hour
Mm,
holding her hostage to your conversation, right? Like 5 minutes and then say your goodbyes and dip out. Even if you
interesting.
really want to stick around, like, dip out.
Ah,
So from the moment you see her and to the moment you say your goodbyes, you have to get her to feel something,
okay.
right? It's like shopping. You don't go and buy a car unless you love it, right? Like when
Yes.
I bought my Suburban, I saw it online, I fell in love with it. I drove all the way to Miami to get it. Back when I lived in Florida, right? This is like 3 hours away from me. I
Uh-huh.
loved it. So you have to get an emotion from the second you see an approach till you wave your goodbyes and shake her
Hmm.
hand and hopefully get a number. Again, be brave, ask for it. She says no, you move on.
Hmm.
Um, get an emotion. If she has an emotion for you, she will be more likely to give you a phone number, right? If you make her feel nothing and she just can't wait till you move along, then you'll not get it. You won't get a number. You won't get any response, right? Get
Right.
her feel some kind of emotion, like she's laughing, she's, make her feel sexy if you can, but not, overboard. Don't be like, oh, I love your boobs. Like, no. Like, your hair is beautiful. I think you're
Okay.
gorgeous. I feel like you're the most beautiful girl in this place, blah, blah, practice,
Okay.
practice,
Okay.
practice.
Here's what I'm wondering. 5 minutes
Mhm.
of conversation and you're asking for a phone number.
Right.
Doesn't you don't think that's too soon? People are successful in getting a phone number after 5 minutes?
Yeah. If you get
Wow.
an emotion from a girl,
Okay.
right?
All right. And
If
then
you come
if
up and you manage to make her feel something towards you,
right.
like she's laughing, she's having a great time chatting with you, you're being charming, you made her feel sexy and special.
Hmm.
If you make a woman feel special
Hmm.
in a place filled with a bunch of gorgeous women, right?
Mm,
Like if you go to a Miami bar, they all look like models, right?
mm,
Not bar, the nightclubs, whatever. Like they
hmm.
all look like models.
Hmm.
Make her feel special, this one girl. She'll give
Hmm.
you a number, of course. It just makes sense.
Okay, then what happens? You walk away and you're at the same bar for the next hour and she's watching you talk to other women, or what does that look like?
So it depends, right? If you get a number, you can, it's up to you. You can just move on to a different place. You can go chat with other people. Most of the time, though, you will be with your friends, right? It's
Uh-huh.
rare that guys go out on their own and to the bar, right? They
Okay.
usually come bring a whole friend group and their buddies, their little support team, right?
Yes.
So then you go back and chat with them, right? And then you can
Hmm.
come back to the girl and be like, listen, I'm leaving. If you didn't get the number before, like
Mm,
there's two ways to do it. You could chat, and then say like, listen, I feel really bad. I left my friends. I'm gonna
mm,
go, spend some time with them. But I had a great time chatting with you, like toodly do. And then you dip out, right? Go hang out with your friends. And before, you leave the bar, whatever area, go back to the girl and ask her for the number. Say like, I had a great time chatting with you. I'd love to see you again. there's whatever band playing or something else, and then later this week, and then get your phone out and hand it to her, right? I'm doing the gestures again, right? Get your phone out and be like, let me get your number.
Nice.
Assume that she's gonna give it to you, right?
Yes.
In everything that I've said that you gotta do, confidence is number one thing, right? You have to be confident. If you look like you're terrified, it's not gonna work, right? Women, like, and that we can sense the confidence from a mile away, right? Like when a certain alpha male walks in the bar, like all the girls are like, oh my God. It's like watching Beauty and the Beast, right? When Gaston walks in, all the girls are like, ah, right? Versus like when a guy walks in and he's mortified that he's even there, he's like, oh my God, this is my first time in real pants, like I only wear sweatpants and I've never been out, right? Like us women, we can sense it, and we're like, all right, cool, I hope he doesn't come by and say hi or anything at all, really. I bet he smells funny too, and he owns 17 cats, right? So confidence, if you don't have it, pretend that you have it. Just be ballsy, right? And by you, I'm talking to men right now.
Sure.
Just pretend, like do some breath work before you walk anywhere inside and people lay eyes on you, right? You gotta start right. The second you open the door, you gotta be like, I own the place, right? Like I know what I'm doing. So outside, do your breath work, do some push-ups.
Okay.
But confidence, right? Get your chest out, walk in the place like Gaston.
And what do you recommend in terms of suiting up? What in terms of clothing choice and whatnot?
I love that one. So many options. I feel like men have it so bloody easy. Men have it so easy. Like us girls, we got like 1,000 different dresses to choose from, and then there's color combinations, and then the things we put on arms and neck and shoes. There's so much to it, right? That's why I prefer like a button-up shirt and jeans, whatever. For guys, it's so easy. Like you can make any man, and by any I mean any man. You can take a bold guy, and I love bold guys, by the way. I think bold guys is, you got to have a lot of cojones to pull off boldness and run around with it. So anyway, you can take a bold guy, blonde, brunette, a guy that's big and chunky, and a skinny guy, black, white, purple, any kind of guy, and throw him in a suit, and he looks fantastic, right? Now he looks like a delicious cupcake that women are like, let me get this, let me get a piece of that, right?
Because it looks like he's ambitious and he's got his act together.
Right. So a suit will give you a certain look. You got a job, you're employed, right? You're not a homeless guy trying to get a tail. So you're employed, you're confident in your looks, and it like makes your shoulders look bigger, right? Because all of the suits, they have the padding in the shoulders, right? So it immediately makes a guy's shoulders bigger. So now he's big and wide. Again, for us women, we're going back in our lizard brain. We see a big wide guy. Oh my God, he's a protector. He's gonna fight a lion off on behalf of me and our, offsprings. Right. We don't think about it, but when we see a big guy, we're like, right? It's true. It's just what it is. So you can throw any guy in a suit and he'll look great. And it's the easiest thing to do, right? You can get like a black, gray, and like a navy blue suit, right?
Okay.
And then you get a white shirt and a black shirt. And by shirt, I don't mean a t-shirt, right? We're talking about button up with long sleeves that go down and they have buttons.
Okay.
Those. So then, and of course, get a pair of black shoes. Black shoes fit and match everything, right?
Okay.
And if you don't know how to pick out a suit for yourself, right? Because we're in the era where suits are not really a thing, right? Back in the 20s, old man wore a suit and that was the thing. So now it's not.
Right.
You can call most of the nice stores have what's called a personal shopper. You can call in advance and it's free. You just call in advance and be like, listen, I need some help. And they're like, yeah, totally do that. And then if you match the suits around, right? The three different sides of pants and the jackets, and you can mix and match with different shirts. And that gives you to go do about 56 different outfits,
Okay.
right? For the price of 3 suits and 2 shirts.
Okay.
56 different outfits. There's 52 weeks in a year. 56 outfits. Make sure that you look different every single weekend that you're out.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Especially if you're like in a small city and there's a really good chance you're going to run into the same group of girls,
Sure.
right? You don't want to look like this is your one suit that you have on you. That's your go out suit.
Okay. I like
Because
it.
somebody might see you, right?
Yeah, for sure. Nice.
Yeah.
And I've also seen where men wear like a really nice t-shirt under a blazer,
Yeah.
and that's a good look too. Not as
Totally,
fancy,
absolutely.
but it shows confidence. I love that. Okay. All
I feel
right.
like
So
anything was a color,
yeah,
anything was a color will bring you up as far as, the looks go. Like now you look professional, you look cool,
right. And you
anything that
don't
has
have
a
to wear
color
you
to it.
don't have to wear a tie. It can
No,
be
no,
like
no,
a
no, no.
nice,
You're not,
like a shirt. Yeah, we're not doing ties here. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, I love it. So we have gone over a lot. This is so helpful. And Ella, tell us more. I know that you provide these services to people. They can contact you directly. I'll put in the show notes. How do people find you on socials?
So I'm on Instagram and
Mhm.
Facebook,
Mhm.
Twitter. I'm back on Twitter.
At Smoky
Yeah, so
Matchmaker?
it's Smoky Matchmaker. I don't really
Okay.
know how you go about it, but I think it's at Smoky Matchmaker. I'm not
Okay.
really into.
Well, yeah, we'll put it in the show notes how to reach you. So you provide some people could virtually connect with you. So you're Zooming
Mhm.
with them. So if there's any men out there that would like some coaching with Ella, her contact information will be in the show notes. I think it's really valuable. And she can coach you through that even if you don't live in Knoxville. So you can reach out to Ella. That's great. And Ella, do you have like a favorite charity that you give to or a nonprofit that you appreciate either in town or national or back in Florida?
Yes. St. Jude. I
Okay.
love St. Jude. They do great work. They're
Mhm.
awesome. I've signed up a bunch of times to do like the whatever walks was the dog, the 40-mile walk was the dog or something. They
Yeah.
constantly do those things. It's awesome. They don't have enough money. They need more. They constantly need more, right? So
Okay.
if anybody wants to throw a dollar, that'd be great.
Yeah. I'll put that link in the show notes. This has been really interesting. Thank you very much,
Awesome.
Ella,
Thank
for taking
you.
the time to be on the
Yeah,
podcast. I appreciate it. And we
totally.
shall.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to Love on the Go. I hope you join us on our next episode. You can make sure to know when it is by following us wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed it, it'd be great if you left us a review. I'd appreciate it. In the meantime, to learn more about me and how my team can help you, visit carolinasmatchmaker.com. Until next time.